Huge run by the 19. Martin Truex Jr. fighting for the lead.
In the
Both of them into the wall. Both of them into the wall.
You had a tough finish to kick off the round of 16. How do you move forward and put that, behind you after essentially having a win kind of, I don't know if you want to say taken away, given away, however you want to classify it. How do you put that in the rear view and head to Richmond?
Well, you just have to move on. As soon as we hit the wall there, the race is over and there's really nothing you can do about it at that point. So I think the only things you can really do is just look back and kind of look at what led to that and try to make better decisions moving forward ultimately. And that's kind of how I've viewed it. I guess fortunately and unfortunately throughout my career, we've had some tough finishes to races, especially in the playoffs. So having, I guess, experience in dealing with some of that stuff is a good thing. And yeah, I think it really just helps you put your, best foot forward and push forward to the next race. And that's really all I'm focused on right now. I'm not dwelling on it like, you might do earlier on in your career. I think it's a little easier to dwell on things like that, but I look at it and I see kind of the mistakes I think I made in my head and try to correct that moving forward. And I'm ready to go again.
Richmond, far from your best track. How does this present an opportunity for the 9 team to respond and maybe make a statement this weekend at a track that you don't historically run that well at?
Yeah, for sure. It's been a struggle. Terrible. I feel like I cringe. But, it's unfortunate, though, too, because Richmond's not a place that I don't feel like I'm capable of doing good at. And we had some really good runs there on the Xfinity side. So when we got to Cup, I was like, hey, this could potentially be a good track. And I was excited for it and thought there was a lot to build on there. And, man, it has been just back to the drawing board, I feel like, every time. To your point, for us to have a solid run at Richmond, I think would be a huge statement. And I think it would say a lot about us.
2 consecutive short tracks, in this round. Is that a bit of a wild card for all you guys? I know you're going back to Bristol where you won the All-Star race. You got to feel good about that. But, anything could happen at that racetrack. It's so tight. So, what's the gut feel like heading into Richmond and Bristol back-to-back here before a cutoff?
Well, I don't really think Richmond's a short track. I think you got to be half mile to be a short track, or under a mile at least. So really, I think we have 2 short tracks on our schedule. Obviously, Bristol is one we had a good run at for the All-Star race. 500 laps versus that short event is certainly different. So I think our strengths there in the All-Star race are going to have to change a little bit to be good for at the end of 500 laps at that place. As, the groove was still kind of on the bottom and things were playing into our hands. But I think at the end of a race, the normal races there, it seems like it always goes to the top. And I'm not sure our balance was super suited to run up high at that last event. So, we'll adjust accordingly. And I hope we hit it as good as we did there the other night.
You have a little bit of a points cushion, but what's your comfort level, going into Richmond?
I don't think you can ever be comfortable in this situation. And honestly, I think the more that you're not and the more you accept that and the more you thrive in it, the better off you're going to be because, whether you're pushed up against the wall and you're in a must-win situation now or if you're good enough to make it to Phoenix, that's the same thing. So I think the more you can challenge yourself to push and fight and continue to try to run for race wins and feel like your back is against the wall, I think the better you're going to be prepared if you ever get to Phoenix one day.
Now, if I ask you what's the goal heading into Richmond, I know you're going to tell me to win, but if I offered you a top 5 finish coming out of Richmond, would you take it and not complain? Given, your history at that place?
Yeah, I would not complain with that for sure. And I'm not just a top 5 finish, but and here I'm getting a little greedy, but I'd love to run in the top 5 all day. I think it's, we've had a couple good finishes there, but that was not indicative of how we ran throughout the entire event. So I would love from start to finish, I want to just be solid. Would love to, obviously that means stage points too, but I don't just want to have the end of the race go good. I want to be solid all day, and that I would be happy with that.
And you found yourself in the round of 8 over the past couple of years. Do you think that the track shakeup can help the 9 team get over that hump and find yourself in that championship for this year?
I'm not sure the tracks shake up. I mean, I think the same people have been making it every year, and it's the same people that run good everywhere we go. So I'm not really sure that it matters what the track schedules are, or where you go, or what 3 races are in that round of 8. But honestly, the round of 8's still a long ways out, and I think I'd be foolish to look that far in advance and just think we're going to be there already. I think we got to focus on right now, and we're not in a super good spot as we sit today going into Richmond. So we got to push and try to get some points to get through this first one first.
All right, bud. Appreciate your time, and good luck at Richmond.
Cool. Thanks.